The question is, does the bonnet fit? Now, apart from the oil filler, we are all good. Look at that. Let's have a look underneath. It's tight, but it's not as tight as I thought it would be. Look, there's actually legitimately room. Happy days. No bonnet modifications needed. Hey, and welcome to Spanos Antics. So, last episode, bit exciting. Getting the engine in the Volvo. Proper psyched. She's in. So there's just a few little issues, which I said about last time, to getting it buttoned up and getting it bolted in forever. Main ones being steering, going through that header. So I've just got to figure out how much I need to trim off. I can get a slightly different steering column section, which is a bit thinner. So I'm going to measure up to see what I need to do for that. Number 2, modify the sump. Again, not too biggie, knew about that, not a biggie. Yeah, they're the main 2 really. So I'm just going to look into them tonight and see what we can do. Let's have a look. I think I'll start with the sump. So if we can see, there's the sump. And you can see that it's very tight. Oil pickup does clear, it's a bit hard to see in the picture. So what we're going to have to do, here is the sump, is essentially we're going to be notching a section out of here and welding it up. Now the original 3UZ pan actually had a notch in like that, but it doesn't cross over. So I'm not too worried about the amount of fluid. I'm obviously it's going to be less liquid. But it's not going to be too bad a problem. We'll say the 3UZ one was like that anyway. Another bonus, I chucked the oil filter housing on. I can use the original one of them as well, which never fits on anything. So, yeah, I'm proper psyched. The whole booster issue, which is wicked, that clears. I'm well happy with that. Anyway, look at this one, the fuel line. That was a funny one. Where's that? There it is. Fuel line comes out of the bulk. How long it is? It's literally of the perfect length. Who would have known? So yeah, all good. One annoying thing, well not annoying, the shifter location for the gearbox. It's perfect for the original one. I bought that really fancy one and it's not going to work now, so I got to find a stock J160 shifter mount. I'm working on that. Right, let's crack on. Right, I'm just going to take some measurements, basically. We are super close to the steering rack, but hopefully I can pull the engine forwards a little bit. So from there to there, we're 21. I'm thinking it's about 20 from that bolt hole. 19. Let's scribe that out. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is just make a quick template. So we've got a reference point to come back to. I'm going to mark the bolt holes because they're easy to see on the block. Okay. Now we're looking at 20 centimetres from there, approx. It's a good starting point, isn't it? That much. Now we need to transfer that into here. See if the glove fits. Oh, press the anti-roll bar out. That ain't gonna work with a V8. What are you gonna do with that? Well, it's sort of on. The steering rack is like in the plug-in. But let's jack it up. That's a bit better. You can see a bit better now. So, yeah, Sump's in, but the steering rack is within the sump. So we're going to need to take a little bit more off, and I think that pipe on the rack will just need to be tweaked, as they say. Right. Okay. Take two. Right, so now my sump's all chopped with my pieces cut out. I popped over to my buddy over the road and got him to fold me up a bit of steel. Now I'm going to use that to go in there. It's going to be a bit of a bugger to weld because you've got these ridges on the back. I've got hardly any lip on the bottom, so a bit of messing about. Crack on. That's that chopped out, roughly, obviously. Bada boom. Now obviously it all needs fettling and making pretty, but you get the general idea. It's going to get me nearby, not spot on, but nearby enough. Bada boom. Right, more fettling. Right, so that's that sort of all tidied up. Again, I'm literally just going to, there's a few ways to do it. What I'm going to do is just tack it on that lip. When I weld it, I'm going to have to clamp it to the table or screw it down. That'll do. Now I've left it a bit long, but you can get the general idea of it, don't you? Let's go. Stick it on the car. Good. It's all good, it's all good. We're all good otherwise. Sweet. Right. Happy with that. We're good. Right, let's see if this Sump mod fits. There's my sump hole. It's just a test fit, obviously, so I've not got all the oil and stuff on there. Oh, like a glove. Extra tweak on there. And there we go. One sump mod. Right, well, I've got this header out and I've got a plan of action. The plan is I'm going to cut the header there, along all 4 pipes and try and twist them over, and then we can weld in some pie cuts. So basically just adjust that whole angle round, which will bring it down and away and hopefully clear it. Right, so what have I been up to? So, I put relief cuts all the way around, and now what I'm hoping to do is flex this out. Whole manifold. Like that. So it's opened a load of holes there, obviously, but they can be welded up. Take it back to the car, stick it on, see if we clear the steering rack now. So there's the header, you see that? Bent it round, and there's our steering knuckle, and this is our pipe. Now we are a load closer than we were. We're actually, you know, question is, where are we hitting? That's pretty much our lot, and that O2 sensor bung is going to need to be relocated. To about there. Right, well, I think I've got it. I think we've got it. The plan. You see that? Add some light. There you go. Right, the header's there. So what I've done, rotated it enough. Once I replace this with a straight bar, I'm in. Steering. Sorted. Minty. So the plan, open the headers up like that, which I've done. That's rotated them around absolutely loads. Okay, they need little pie cut fillings. And then I had to cut quite a bit off the back of the header. And then this is going to go straight down. That's a 2 1/4. And there we go. Bang tidy. Let's have a quick look at these headers. So, as I've shown you on the bench, I've had to cut a few bits off and twist and bend and manipulate. Now I've just been shaping the first pipe, because I want to get these headers ready for my mate to weld up. So here we are, with the header clearance. So that's my steering UJ. And there's my pipe and my shaft. It goes like that. So that now clears. It's tight, but it clears. You can see the exhaust there. You can see where I've chopped some of the sections out, and you can see there's a few bolts there I've used to stabilise it. And then this is my first pipe, which I've been cutting to go straight off the back of the header to clear the gearbox and everything. So I can give them to him now. You can see I've marked up some lines on the side there so it can marry up. And there we go, first pipe. Boom. I've just got to do the other side as well. And then I can take them off and send to my mate to get welded up. Okay, power steering lines. This is the power steering line off the LS430 power steering pump. And this is the line that comes off the Volvo steering rack. So what I need to do is somehow attach these two together. Okay, well, the custom power steering line we had made is in. I've got a little bottle, like a universal aluminium bottle here. So if we follow the lines, our main line comes down and in to the LS430 pump. It then comes out through a rigid line, which you can just about see, which then curls round. Now that's the one we got made. Let's see if we can get in there. That's this custom line under here that goes into the rack. Then it comes out of the rack, returns round the engine, across the cross member, and back in. And that's our fuel, that's our power steering system sorted. I've left quite a nice big loop here for a couple of reasons. Number one is, originally they actually run through quite a lot of metal lines to help cool it. I'm going to Jubilee clip that up there, give it a bit of spring between the engine. Steering rack is obviously mounted to the cross member. So that's that sorted. Happy days. I've also fixed my fuel gauge problem by getting a little elbow. Happy days. So now I've got fuel pressure gauge to keep an eye on stuff. Yeah, cool. Let's get this inlet sorted. So my idea is a custom aluminium pipe coming round with a pod filter. Now, I'm going to reduce down slightly in size because the mass airflow meter is designed for a specific size pipe. So I'm going to run that size with a pod filter down here, and then I'm also going to then box that pod filter in so it's got fresh air coming through the headlight. That's the plan. Let's crack on. So, here's my 3 bits that I've mocked up, and we've just popped over to Leroy at Atomic Welding, who's going to fuzz these together and turn them into one. And boom, there it is. One intake sorted. So I think I'm going to throw it here just behind the light bucket, is how I've designed it. And then I'm going to box this in so I only have fresh air in coming in through the light cluster. That's the plan. Sweet. Well, that's it for this episode in a windy Dorset, England. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next week.